You never know what God has up his sleeve. You don't know what's going to happen. You only know what you can do next. It's a famous quote by Elizabeth Elliot, a missionary, an author, and a speaker. Elliot experienced many tragedies in her life, including the death of 2 of her husbands. She used these tragedies as a testimony and a way to share the gospel to those around her. I'm going to talk about how her parents set a foundation of faith to her that would impact the way she dealt with people around her. How she used her tragedies as a way to make a positive impact to those she came in contact with, and how she used her career opportunities to share the gospel. Elizabeth Elliot was born in Belgium, where her parents were serving as missionaries. The next year, they moved to Pennsylvania, where her dad served as editor of the Sunday School Times, which was distributed throughout the United States. After Elliot finished high school, she went to study at Wheaton College, where she studied Greek to pursue her dreams of translating the Bible to those who did not have one they could read. It was at Wheaton College that she met Jim Elliot, who would later become her husband when they served together as missionaries in Ecuador. Jim also had a passion for sharing the gospel with unreached people. It was in Ecuador that Jim became acquainted with the Ayuca tribe, which was known for being hostile and not welcoming to visitors. After Jim and 4 other missionaries were introduced to a couple members of the tribe, they were introduced to the whole tribe, which is when they were speared to death. This tragedy did not affect or distract Elizabeth from sharing the gospel and staying in Ecuador. She and her 10-month-old daughter continued their stay in Ecuador and building relationships. In the next year, Elliot befriended 2 Ayuca tribe women who successfully introduced her to the rest of the tribe. She spent 2 years sharing the gospel and teaching the Ayuca tribe members about the love of Christ. In 1963, Elizabeth Elliot headed back to the States. It was then that Elizabeth began her time as an author, a speaker, and a teacher. In 1974, she became an adjunct professor at the Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary, teaching a popular class on the Christian experience. From 1988 to 2001, she hosted a radio broadcasting program called Gateway to Joy. She published over 20 books dealing with topics from joy to grief, marriage, and single parenting. Elizabeth used all of her experiences, whether positive or negative, tragedy or joy, to impact those people around her. In 2015, Elliot passed away from a 10-year battle with dementia. Another popular quote by Elliot is, "I have a desire now to live a life of reckless abandon to the Lord, putting all my strength and effort into it." And that's what she did. Through every strength, through every trial, through every joy, she continued to share the love of Christ and to spread the gospel with those around the world. She served the Lord for over 50 years. Her parents set a faith foundation that would impact her career and everything she did. She used her tragedies and her joys as a way to share the gospel. In her career, she did everything for the love of Christ. We can learn a lot from Elizabeth Elliot, as she was a woman who not only spoke and wrote about dealing with tragedies, but she also dealt with them in her own life.
Hello.